Nuisance Committee. Geneva Nuisance Committee meetings are now live streamed and recorded. Your participation in the meeting is your consent to the recording and rebroadcasting of the meeting on the town's YouTube channel. Find my agenda. Let the record note that all members of the committee are here.
Yes.
Approval of minutes. There are no minutes to approve this month. The first item on the agenda is Margaret Brewer requesting to speak to us. Margaret, if you could stand at the podium and tell us your concerns.
One thing about the barricades down there on that 5th Street. Yeah, 5th Street. And going to the highway, I don't understand why they blocked that.
We're under the understanding that you did that.
Huh?
We're under the understanding that you did that.
The barricades on 5th Street, that was a decision made by the town council, not by the nuisance committee. So that would have to be addressed to the town council, not to the nuisance committee, because they had nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay. Well, those railroad ties I put there because semis kept going into my yard, for one thing. I had it going past a wishing well.
Are you aware of the fact that your property actually ends, part of your garage is in the right of way? And by looking at the GIS, your lot ends before your garage stops?
Yeah, but it's grandfathered in. It's been built in 1954.
Understand that. But those railroad ties are in the right of way.
Yeah, but the right of way means that.
You don't own that property.
No, but the right of way means I can put something there to protect my yard. An easement or a right of way zoning, I got to get permission. Special permission to put something there.
I don't know if who you ever asked permission to do that with, but as long as I've been involved with this, I don't ever remember you coming before us to ask permission to do that.
Well, I talked to the town manager at the time, was Rob Johnson, and he told me that Red Bull was going to take care of that, but Red Bull didn't want to take the responsibility if somebody hits them. And town of Geneva told him that they didn't want to have any responsibility to do that. Well, so I did, because I was tired of putting roots in my yard that deep. I had to pay to get it paid for every time somebody went through my yard.
If they were going up into your yard, they were either going to hit your house or they were going to hit your garage, because there's an awful lot of room between the right of way.
They came in, I had my pickup truck parked in where it's always said at. I hadn't come up that close to my pickup truck.
Well, we are addressing the issue, but those railroad ties are going to have to be moved at some time. I'm not going to make you do it tonight.
Okay. Are you going to be responsible if somebody hits my house when they turn that corner?
If somebody hits your house when they turn that corner.
They about did. I mean.
Ma'am, calm down. Right-of-ways are put there for a reason. That street is being addressed for another issue. We're trying to get things changed so it's easier for Red Gold to access their property, to maintain property owners' rights, which is you, and to make sure that everybody in the town can get what they need to have done.
You're not making it convenient for nobody in the town of Geneva. I mean, even the mail person cannot deliver packages to my house because they don't want to cross the highway. My son had a package to come to my house because he was on vacation And he had to go up to Bern to get it because they did not want to walk across the street.
Well-
And they did not want to park on the highway.
It's a temporary situation for that street being closed. When PAC is done, that street,
And-
when this PAC is done, that street will be reopened. Until then, we're gonna have to live with it for safety considerations, to keep the trucks out of your yard, to make them go where they're supposed to go. That's the best I can do for you right now.
But the whole thing is, you guys are saying tomato trucks goes down that road. Tomato trucks do not go down that road.
The semis are considered part of the tomato industry.
So last year we had multiple issues because of the tomato trucks trying to turn there. We had issues where they were
They was
partially,
not.
we had issues where they were partially stopped or they were backing out on the highway, also creating a traffic hazard. Therefore, the barricades were put there to close off Fifth Street, which again is a town council issue, not a nuisance board issue, so that the tomato trucks, we didn't have a problem or have them backing out on the highway. Secondly, the mail can still be delivered to your house because your house, your driveway, and the whole back of your property is accessible from Williams to Fifth Street. It's only blocked off at the highway. Otherwise, if it was completely closed, you wouldn't be able to continue to park in your driveway. So the mail issue is a null point because your driveway is accessible just like it has been any other time via Fifth Street, which is a town street. It's just closed off at the highway, not at William Street.
We understand your plight. We understand your concern, but this time nothing's going to change. Thank you.
I'm not done yet.
Yes, you are.
That was it.
You're done. Property review, current warnings and citations. Let's start down the list. 120 South Main, that one's compliant, correct?
Nope, so
That
they
changed?
accumulated a significant pile of miscellaneous parts, car parts, tires, and so forth, on the backside of their property. Again, it was initially cleaned up, however, there's a significant accumulation, like I said, on the west side and the front of their house. So my suggestion would be to send them a warning or a notification under our ordinance and give them the appropriate time to get that cleaned up before citations.
Excuse me, ma'am, if you're going to be disruptive to the meeting, I'm going to ask you to leave the room.
Oh, my son just asked me a question.
Well, go outside and talk. We're trying to conduct a business meeting here. You're being disruptive. Thank you. Okay. That's a good idea. Go ahead. I'd say go ahead and do that. Jim, you agree with that?
Yes, yeah. Yep, need to keep going.
200 South Main.
That's been continued to clean up. I just saw them taking another truckload of miscellaneous items out, so it's actually continuing to look better.
Good. We just talked about 355 South Main, 400 North Main.
Sure, 400 North Main, it looks like that's kind of stalled out. There's not much activity going on. There was some significant progress initially this summer. However, nothing has, I would say nothing's been done in the last 2 to 3 weeks. I know that we initially started fines with him. However, they were put on hold based on the progress that was being made. Like I said, however, that's kind of stalled out. Nothing's been changed or cleaned up since then.
When was the last time we talked to him?
I talked to him, probably within the last month because he was out there working on it, and we discussed how, we were satisfied that he was, that he was making progress and that it was looking better. However, since then, it hasn't done anything. So, like I said, the fines were on hold, so, if we, since send him a letter that the fines are gonna start reoccurring or that they're gonna continue, unless he continues to make progress. I think it was, like I said, everything was on pause, but with his non-compliance, then
Yeah, I think.
It could be cleaned up in a weekend.
Yeah.
Or do you want him to come in front of the committee?
like,
I don't know.
we can send him a letter that tells him the fines are continuing on because of his lack of compliance, and if he has questions, he can come to the meeting. I don't know that we can force him to come to a meeting, but we can offer the meeting that he can come if he wants to.
I think we ought to continue with the fines.
Send them a letter noticing that the fines will start. We want to set a date on that. If progress is not shown, 5 days from the
I
receipt of the.
wouldn't give him more than a week.
Yeah. And send it certified.
Yeah.
So when you say fines, because we paused the fines, are we going back to the beginning, or are the fines going to start from date that's
I think we
date
just
eight?
continue because of his lack of,
Okay.
Yeah. 525 South Main, junk vehicles, vegetation.
there's still that big box off of a truck that's been down there
Okay.
that doesn't look like there's been any activity in it, out of it, around it.
I just talked to his
And-
dad, I just talked to his son today, and he's getting a delivery of birds this weekend, or this week, and he'll have time. He says he should be able to get something going on that next week. I'm gonna give him one more shot, or I'm willing to give him one more shot.
For 525 South Main, that's currently under citation.
Yeah, he's-
That they've not paid.
Yeah, that already fell into the citation,
Right.
the last time around. It looks like he may have went down there and cleared out 2 or 3 foot of brush, but like I said, that, that big trailer, or that big box has been sitting there for
Yeah, that's gotta,
years.
let's see what happens through next week, and if nothing happens, then we'll definitely pick it back up where we left off from. $115 Lincoln. That's we gotta start, condensation processes on that. I will see Mark Quinn tonight at the next meeting. I will, get things started with him.
Yeah, there's been no improvement. That was, they said they were gonna take care of that.
Last year.
Last year, and I think it's looking worse.
And they're gonna pay for it. 225 mil.
Like that property at this point is probably the best it's looked for at least as long as I've been back for the last year and a half, so.
Showing some improvement.
Yep.
Definitely showing some improvement. Continue to monitor. And the same individual with the South Main Street on Mill Street, he's got contractors coming in to give him quotes for the fence. The fence will help with some of that. But it's gonna take a lot of work to get that done also.
It's gonna take a lot of fence to get around that whole property.
And I've got, him and I have been working together on it, and so far I've been pleased with his attempts and what he's trying to do, so I think we'll continue to monitor on
I
that.
know physically there's been no change down there at the
Right.
property.
And the neighbors are complaining of the rats that come out of there.
The rats aren't necessarily coming just from his property. I mean, they got the feed mill there and other things, so there's a conglomeration of situations there that,
Well, the overgrowth of junk vehicles definitely don't help.
and as that gets cleaned out, that should help take care of some of that problem.
Yes.
205 Railroad, the house and shed in disrepair. That one's another one I need to talk to Mark Quinn about tonight. Start what we need to do to start condemnation on that property. 330 Railroad, our vehicles.
Actually, we went past there Sunday, And all the junk vehicles are gone. Every time they get a letter, they clean house and everything looks better, so.
So we're seeing improvement.
Yep.
.405 Railroad,
So Mary Miller, called me today. We provided pictures, which we've also seen her property, and she actually, it's slow, but she's making improvement on her property. And she was wanting to know if the fines are still going to be held since she is making the improvement. She couldn't be here this evening.
In the past, as long as they continue to show improvement, then we've allowed them that grace to keep working on it. So,
let's continue with that same.
Yeah, they're trying.
They show us improvement there.
yeah, you can definitely see significant improvements on that property from what it was.
The last thing we want to do is have to find somebody, but we know that we're going to have to eventually.
Right.
Where am I?
435 or
435 Railroad.
Again, with it, well, as far as the garage, that's the roof's collapsing in. I know that's another one we talked about, speaking with Mark Wynn about. The miscellaneous junk, there's been no improvement. I'm not even sure if they're living there at this point. I've seen them around town. But as far as what they're doing with the property, everything's still in the same place as it has been the last few months. Maybe I know that, they had some medical conditions going on, but at this point, I would say that they at least need to make an effort to start cleaning up the junk vehicles and the miscellaneous stuff sitting around there. They can be out running around the streets, then they should be capable of at least making attempts to show some improvement. I would say, my suggestion would be to send them a letter and give them the appropriate amount of time based on the ordinance to start showing improvement.
Sounds good to me, Jim.
Yep, that's good.
315 High. There was some improvement there, or?
Yeah, there was improvement. I think it looks okay.
I did notice when I went back through that one pile in the back, there's still some woody debris there.
I know they were doing some additional cleaning, and I know when we'd spoke with them earlier this year, they'd rented a dumpster on their own and taken care of a bunch of stuff. We had the big cleanup day, and they were going to continue to clean some other stuff out in the hopes that we'd spoke about big trash day again this fall to continue their progress there.
400 High Street.
There's been no improvement with the property, and I believe the clerk's office made contact with him, made physical contact and delivered his initial warning, made phone contact, got an address. He was sent his fines via certified mail and refused the certified mail to the address that he provided to the town. But there's been no attempts at any kind of cleanup at that property either.
We're going to need to talk with our attorney on that, how we proceed on that one.
Yeah, I think we need to stay on that, and whatever the attorney says we can do, we can't run away from those letters.
Yeah, there's a lot of just miscellaneous junk laid down there, but last summer, he had the intermediate bulk containers that somewhere between 250 and 350 gallons of oil that leaked out on his property. They was able to clean that up before it escaped his property. However, that stuff's still stacked up down there. So we've got, a few different issues going on there.
Not fair to the neighbors, so we need to get on.
Yeah, we need to look into what legal, where we can go with that, so. .320 Shackley. East Shackley.
Everything, they've actually got some improvement. They've shown some decent improvement.
And they got rid of the chickens.
And they got rid of the chickens, so. I know that they do have a for sale sign. He come in the town call earlier this year and said they were gonna be moving some stuff around there, trying to sell that house. They're moving back out to the country.
Still has that pickup truck though back there along the alley that needs to go. 400 East Shackley.
I think that needs to be kicked to Mark Wynn for review. That house is in poor condition. I do know that he is currently still in the hospital. So there's,
Last I heard, he moved into nursing care.
yeah. So
I don't know if we can get the kids to do something or.
I know they did go down. They've mowed and trimmed quite. So it looks better. The house, I don't know that the house is inhabitable at this point. Like I said, I know there's some significant medical stuff going on there. We may end up, like I said, that go to Mark Wynn and see what our options are.
And the same owner for 435 East Shackley.
Correct.
And they actually paid the initial $100 citation and told us at the town hall that they are making arrangements to get some folks to come in and get that stuff out there. But again, he's at the time was in the hospital moving into an extended care facility. So
Let's monitor that and see what happens by our next meeting. 720 East Shackley.
We went down through there, drove through the alleys, and it actually looks quite a bit better. The trailer's gone and a lot of the stuff's gone, so there's definitely improvement seen there.
That's the one they put the new porch on and they're doing some other additions, or is that?
Nope, this is farther down on the opposite side of the road.
Oh, okay. We'll continue to monitor on that. The 100 East Shore Drive, that's been continued to be mowed as we've talked to them?
Yeah, after the clerk's office called and had a discussion with them, that doesn't seem to be a problem getting it mowed anymore
Okay.
on a regular basis.
Let's still keep our eye on it, just.
Yep.
East Lake Road, Winchester Road, same thing.
Yep.
New complaints, the basketball court weeds.
yes, that was a complaint at the town hall. There was some question who actually owned that property, if the town needed to mow it or weed it, and it's not ours. So
I will talk to one of the people that's in Limberlost Conservation tomorrow and see what their intents are. I know he's talked about it before, about getting some spray to spray them. They'd done a really good job on it last year. It showed really good improvement, and then this year everything started growing up again. So I'll talk to him in the morning. .425 Railroad, pallets and furniture.
Yeah, there seems to be a significant piling up of pallets, old furniture out in the yard. That house was uninhabited for a while, and I believe I was told that they're going to try to fix the house up, but they're living out of a camper in the driveway.
Ooh,
So,
do they have water service there?
I would assume so, yes, because she paid her deposit.
Okay. I know the, up the soffit and everything, that's got some
yeah.
repair issues, where the roof line comes down. Have we talked to them or anything on that?
No, that just came up in the last few days. And the last couple times I've been there, the occupant's not been there.
Now, let's see if we can make contact with them and find out what their intents are, and let's give them a warning letter about the pallets and the furniture. And finally, 470 William Street.
It looks like they were doing got some new furniture or something. They've just piled it all out on the street. I don't know if they anticipated the trash company picking it up for them or whatever, but it's sat out there for quite some time.
Now, looking on GIS, the person living there isn't the person that owns the property.
Correct.
Have we talked to a property owner?
Not yet, this is just, we've been keeping an eye on it, thinking that somebody would take care of it, but it hasn't, so we'll make contact with them.
Okay.
Send them a letter asking to get their old furniture out of the street.
And again, we've been pretty lenient, but we're still seeing some progress. We don't want to fine if we don't have to, but we know we're going to have to. And sadly, that's the way it is right now. I wish there was more we could do. Short of doing it. And we try to work with the people and, yeah, okay, we will, and then it doesn't always work that way, does it?
This is true. But otherwise, I think as an overall, I think we're seeing some good progress. Like I said, there's a few people that have asked about the cleanup day for the fall, just, have a little bit more stuff here and there, some stuff accumulated or switched out over the summer. So I think there's definitely, it seems to be in town that there's a positive movement to keep things getting better and
I know on tonight's agenda for the regular council meeting, a fall cleanup is going to be discussed.
Yes,
Uh,
there are funds to, for that.
And I don't remember the exact date other than it's in sometime in early to mid-October, if I remember
The
correctly.
first or second Saturday.
Okay. So that'll be discussed at the council meeting tonight, so.
then we can also add that, if that's decided tonight, because these letters go out for people for cleanup, we can make a notation that, that's coming, so if, that would be a great opportunity for them to gather their stuff up and have it ready.
We saw a significant increase after last spring's cleanup. I see no reason why we can't have that same kind of success.
So when will we know when the big trash cleanup is gonna be?
We'll decide that at the council meeting tonight.
All right, so then can we go to each one of these owners and tell them when the big trash day is and get their stuff out? And
So we'll advertise, but on the warning letters or the letters that we sent to them, we can document that on there. It's a form Word document that we've got space in there that we can add stuff. We done the same thing in the spring when some of the letters went out and we spoke with the people. We let them know that you've got this long to get it taken care of. However, big trash day is on a certain day, so as long as it's taken care of by then, and that's, a lot of people stage their stuff, big trash day come, they haul it all off and it was taken care of. So it gives them a really inexpensive, easy out to any kind of fines or, any kind of other legal action.
yeah, we should be able to make a big dent in it. If we don't, then it's their fault.
So we're gonna tell you about your stuff, but we're gonna give you, the option. In the town also, if people didn't have the means to get it down there were some options that the city utility workers would come around, and if the stuff was out, they would load or assist you in loading it onto the town's trailer. They would help haul it away for you. So, so try to, give them as many options to help them out as possible. And there was no, there's no cost in the big trash day. They can go down there, they can dump their stuff as opposed to taking it to Decatur and paying $25, $30, whatever it is, to dump at the transfer station up there. Here it's, as long as you're a resident, you're paying your utilities, or you're, a resident here in town, then you can utilize this at no cost.
And as long as the people keep in contact with us, show us progress, we'll work with it. But that onus is on them.
Could we get the youth council to help out
So-
on big trash day?
So they do,
Some of
the
these
youth
people-
council, we don't put them out on the truck just because of the traffic and so forth, but the youth council comes down to the lot and helps as people come in or the town trucks come in, help unload and stage stuff in the dumpsters.
Did a really good job last spring.
Good.
They do a lot of community service in this town.
It's almost a game they have fun. I mean,
Good.
it's just great watching the kids. They laugh and have a good time and they work their rears off and they do a really good service to the community and last couple of big trash days we've had, Sally Burry, Lynn's wife, that's the deputy for treasurer, has fixed a lunch up here so that, after we're all done, the kids, everybody that's helped out with it can come up and have lunch, and it's always supreme food. So there's some benefits to showing up and helping at Big Trash Day. You can get a really good free lunch out of it too.
Good.
Any committee comments?
I think that's all I've got.
Just want to see if we can set an actual set day for meetings. Maybe even during the daytime, if Mr. Buckingham is able to do it, like during the day.
Mondays or Tuesdays are the best, yeah.
Would the morning work better for you than coming in the afternoon?
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Tuesday mornings of the council meetings wouldn't be bad since we report to the council meeting. That would have been my suggestion, to kind of break it up for all of us.
Tuesday morning would be the best for me.
10 o'clock Tuesday morning?
Yeah.
And that, when's the next council, October 14th? Okay, next meeting then will be October 14th at 10 a.m. here in the town hall meeting room. Any other business? There being no further business to come before the board, we are adjourned.